Make it.
Hello, Michael.
How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I just put a fire on in the living room. There's a little nip in the air.
It's that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
The leaf blower out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We have, I don't know, probably a world record amount of trees on our property.
I know. I raked the whole side of the house, and then I don't know if it's because of the wind or the leaf blower, but I noticed it's full of leaves
Well,
again.
there's still leaves that are falling.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things that you just should wait until they're all down,
Well,
but it's like a huge job.
When
in
they're
our
all
yard.
down, it's almost too much work. So you just have to do it 2 to 3
Twice,
times.
yeah. Same with pulling the weeds in the backyard through our little patio.
Yeah, but that's
just
just
landscaping,
One of
huh?
the things you have to deal with when you live in the woods in a beautiful spot. So
Yeah.
I'll take that.
It's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
No, everything's pretty good otherwise, and had a good Halloween and entering into November. Had some pretty heartbreaking sports experience in Canada that everybody knows about, of course.
I can barely talk about it.
I know. Sorry.
There's, if you look back at it, there's just so many things, so many little things that went wrong that shouldn't have, where they should have won.
I love how proud everyone is, though. Like, it almost feels so human and relatable to come so close to making it, right?
Mm.
And then sometimes there's something deeper there. I don't know. I know everyone is just beside themselves because we all know that the Jays should have taken the win, but they also have left so much love in our hearts and pride, and we just are rooting for them no matter what.
Yeah, it's good to be proud of them, and they brought a lot of excitement and probably brought a lot of people to the game of baseball that wouldn't have been into it otherwise, and maybe some kids will start to play, which is what you want to come from that. But again, it almost feels like it would have been better if they lost
Lost
earlier against like the Mariners and didn't even make it to the World Series.
Well, I don't know. We're thinking of them, and it was a cool way to observe Canada come together.
Yeah.
I feel like sports is very similar to music in that way, that it is such an invitation for people to be together and be present in those moments and have shared experiences.
Yeah, they're very similar. I always make analogies with music and creating to athletics. Like growing up playing a ton of sports, all my work ethic and my approach to practicing and approach to teamwork comes from sports. Like that's how I learned it.
Yeah.
And I apply that for better or for worse in the music realm.
Yeah. We talk a little bit about this in sort of a roundabout way with today's guest. We've brought back Ria Mae.
Ria!
Yes. We're
the best.
Yeah, she's somebody that absolutely happy to, and also proud to showcase. Once again, we were happy that she was able to make it back because she's in the midst of a crazy tour schedule, releasing her second full-length album called 2 on the 7th of November. So definitely go out, and she's released a couple singles from that you can check out. But she has done so much work collaboratively. And this album, she talks about in this interview as being something that she's approached a little bit differently, that it's more solo or more to herself. And there's something really beautiful about that too.
Well, Ria's just such a nice person, so easy to talk to, just a easygoing person. I guess that's how I would describe her best.
Yeah.
And she's so successful. She has some hit songs that are part of Canada's identity, really.
Yeah.
Like they've permeated the entire country. And it's amazing to see her growth, and it's amazing to see how she's tackling it in a slightly different way, but having amazing results as well.
She definitely does feel like an old friend. I'm sure anyone who meets her has that experience because that's just her personality and energy. And then a dynamite on stage. So there's that spectrum to her presence, I think.
She's someone who cares so much about her audience.
Yeah.
She just goes out of her way to be there for them and to interact with them and just to show that she's that true down-to-earth person that she is.
We touch on this a little bit, but it also reminds me that a lot of the intention in having this podcast is to give a little bit of behind the scenes or explanation to the artist's life. So often we see the final product, but not necessarily the labor of love that happens in addition to that. And she talks about the first shows that she has been doing on this current tour of wanting to go out and talk to every person that buys a piece of merchandise or that bought a ticket to the show and would probably do that until she physically couldn't any longer. But there also has to be this level of, oh yeah, I have to take care of myself because I have to go do this tomorrow. And then again and again and again. And I think that speaks to her desire to always be giving. But we all have thresholds too.
Yeah. And a lot of artists aren't willing to do that, and maybe that's why they aren't able to connect the same way that someone like Ria does. So it's an impressive thing that she does, and she's just an impressive person. And I could chat with her all day. We always stick around a little bit longer after the chat with Ria and just gab away.
Welcome to Make It with Mike and Kristen.
Where creative people talk about what they make and what making it means to them.
Ooh, I'm a little late throwing our intro in there, but sometimes, just comes to be.
Well, you don't have to say it right off the top.
No, good thing. I often forget.
Yeah.
I also wanted to. I asked Ria about this off air, but I wanted to make sure that I got the name of. She always looks so good, and she wears these great, like the first interview she was here, she had this black jacket with this great kind of dartboard bullseye looking graphic on the back, and I immediately wanted it. And in some of her promo for 2, she has this denim kind of patchwork jacket that has in red 2 across the front, and that was another one like, I have to find out where she gets her stuff. So I have this written down, 2 a.m. Paradox is a designer in Dartmouth, I believe she said, that I just wanted to give a shout out to because they're doing fantastic work and Ria always looks great. So
2 a.m. Paradox, we'll put it up on the screen right here.
Here you go.
I've always seen YouTube people do the point and then appear, so I'm going to do that now for the first time.
Smart, look at you, all fancy with your pointing.
Yeah. But anyways, let's get into this chat with Ria. It's a great way to get out of the negative headspace of the Blue Jays losing is to listen to a chat with some awesome person like Ria Mae.
There you go. And she's traveling across Canada over the next number of months. So definitely check out her live performance, and we'll put the links in there for that. And we'll be catching her in Halifax in the new year. And just really grateful she spent some time with us today.
Yeah, buds, thanks for tuning in. And check out Ria's tour schedule. See if you can get to one of her shows. She's got a lot of stops in Ontario coming up. Then in the new year, Western Canada and back here. So.
Back east. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Woo.
Make it.
One of the very first interviews we did with video was at Joel Plaskett's studio, and we were very excited to go over and hang out with Joel Plaskett in his studio at that. And we had all this, like everything basically that you see for equipment we had to take.
Oh my God.
And we were just getting used to angles of phones, and we were having this conversation with him about basically not being on our phones and what an interruption they can be. And an alarm went off on one of the phones that Mike had set. So I have to get up and organize myself, and I go shut this alarm off. We come back and you just kind of get back into things in the zone, and the fucking alarm goes off again. Like I had just hit snooze or something on it. And
every other interview we've done is typically around this time in the morning or early afternoon, and this was an evening one. And I had an alarm set every day at 8 o'clock to go off. And ironically, we're talking about social media and technology and not using it. But the alarm was to get off social media.
Oh, that's
so I'd set an alarm for 8 o'clock. Okay, shut down everything.
right.
But it doesn't matter in the end. It's just a funny interruption, and you work with it and you roll with it.
You roll with these things.
That's
I'm sure you guys have had many things you've had to roll with on stage before.
Yeah, every night there's something catastrophic happens. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I'm impressed that you have a boundary around your phone. I don't have a boundary around that stuff, but I need one.
I didn't turn the alarm back on after that, though. So it's
like, that's not happening again.
It's too consequential.
Oh my goodness.
Did you ever fall on stage?
Yeah, I think there was I really injured my ankle, and then there was probably about a year of me like jumping and remembering midair that I could not land on that ankle. So then I'd like do these weird half falls, and oh yeah, I've done everything embarrassing.
Yeah.
Have you?
I fell on stage once, and I was like rocking out hard, and just putting all the energy into it and moving around. And my legs hit the back of my amp, and basically cut me off, and I fell back over the amp.
I feel like that fits with you, but you could just kind of play it off almost.
I meant to do this.
I played while I was laying down, but I can't get up without any hands and continue playing at the same time. It was pretty embarrassing, to be honest.
Done with confidence, most things can be made to look intentional. No.
You couldn't make that look intentional. It was a pretty obvious fall.
Oh God, unforgettable to the audience. Maybe
it wasn't like I wasn't playing a big stadium or anything. It was just a bar somewhere. But
still,
it's ingrained in my mind forever, though.
I'm trying to think. Maybe you'll remember, Mike. I was watching something recently. Maybe it was a documentary or something, but they were essentially highlighting the life of a performer and just some of the stuff that they had to go through. And then you're on stage that night. And I remember watching the show. Maybe it'll come to you because I remember telling you about this and how, I don't know, like my heart for the first time just kind of had this recognition in performers of, yes, we all have to show up to our jobs when life is hard. But if you're kind of at a desk in an office and you can close your door and be to yourself, there's probably a sense of calm or ability to work through that a little bit easier than I'm in front of thousands of people who are expecting me to be energetic and on and everything be brilliant and flashy and smiley, and I'm having the time of my life. Does that resonate? I just feels like something that I have thought about more.
It's I think it's something people definitely don't think about when they're not performing a lot. But I had a friend, we played in Port Hawkesbury, and she texted and she said, "Oh my God, I've been looking forward to your show for months and I'm so sick tonight, I can't come out." I was like, "Oh, no worries." And then a couple minutes later I looked down at my phone and she goes, "Oh my God, do performers ever get sick? Like what would..." And I just had all these flashes of like, oh my God, like being at like the height of a flu and being like, I think I'm going to chug a coffee because I have to get through this show. Or like, I can't go 30 seconds without needing a tissue from this head cold. But here I go to play 45 minutes. And or just like you're having a really sad day, or I've definitely had super traumatic things happen right before a show starts. I bought a house once that was like the wrong house. Like I knew I made a bad decision. And then I freaked out and was trying to get out of this purchase and was sound checking and was like crying to my bandmate who's a decade younger than me. And I was like, I just don't know if I'm making the right decision canceling this. And I just feel like when I think about it, I'm like, what a douchey. But like we all have those moments, but then to turn around and be like, all right, everyone. Yeah, it's craziness. And I think you just need that skill of switching on and off, maybe to do this. And if you weren't good at switching on and off, it would be crazy to do this job.
Okay.
Right? It'd be insane.
I guess they would say compartmentalizing.
That's what it is.
You are able to be in one moment and then flip the switch.
Yeah. And it's a negative in every other aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Like it's like something I work on to not be like.
Yeah.
But when it comes to performing,
yeah,
like I'll be all right for these 75 minutes, and then I'll switch back if I want.
When you look at people are paying money to come see you, and this is their night to have fun, to go out, and maybe it's their one night out off the year. You never know.
It.
Like you don't know what they went through to get there themselves, and I don't know. It's a responsibility to get up there and to give it your best. You can't always be the very best, but you can give it your best.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's such insignificant things for other people that can be detrimental to a musician, like having a head cold. Like if you're a singer, that affects your voice directly. Like when I'm around someone and they say, "Oh, I got a cold," I'm like, "Get the hell away from me, man! I gotta use this instrument. That's my throat, my vocal cords, because that can end a tour or something if you get a cold and you sing through it and it screws up your vocal cords." But.
Yeah, getting sick. I had pneumonia on tour once, and it's like you're in the hospital room or in the hospital, but like you go back to your hotel room. And your manager's going, "Okay, we're going to pay the band out for the next 3 days. And maybe we can wait it out and pick up the tour on this. Or do you want everyone to cancel now and we'll reschedule?" And you're just thinking about the money. And you're like, "I can't think about the money because it's stressing my body out."
And all you want to do is sleep.
Yeah. And you're like, the last thing you want to do is like go outside and play. But you're like, "God, but if I could just get through 2 more shows, I wouldn't lose all this money." It's crazy.
What do you do maybe to prevent that? Because you have a lot of touring dates coming up.
Like, not to get you stressed.
This is probably the worst thing I could have launched this with. But I know you've got this busy. I wanted to raise this as sort of a point of recognition because I feel like when you're a public figure, people know a bit more of a singular part of your life. And I can't even remember what it was that raised this in me, but just sort of having this deep compassion for people that in a hard time, their job is so utterly different than most and having to be on. And I know that you're approaching this huge tour coming up. Like, what do you do to keep your boundaries intact and keep yourself well and be able to maintain this level of energy?
Yeah, I don't always... I'm not always great at it. I had this talk with my wife yesterday because I was telling her we had 4 shows so far in Nova Scotia. And I was like telling her that we ran really low on merch. I was like, I didn't plan it out right because the last show we ran out of a bunch of things. And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I had some stories about talking to people. And she's like, "You talked to everybody?" I was like, "Oh yeah, so far on these 4 shows, I've stood out and talked to every single person that was at the show." And she just had like this moment of silence. And she's like, "You can't do that the whole tour though, because you're going to, she knows that like, that is great to do. I love doing it. It's great for every reason you can imagine, being an entrepreneur, being a musician. But if you get sick and then all the back half of the tour, they can't even come and see the show because you're sick. So it's this really, I don't know. In my head right now, I'm like, I'm actually just probably going to meet everyone this tour and power through it because it's only 9 shows in Ontario left. And then if I'm really sick, I have a week before another one when I get home.
Yeah.
Like that's how I'm thinking. And she's like, that's you can't think, that's not the way to think. I'm like, no, I think I could power 8 days and then be sick for a week and then keep going. I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Cold effects, vitamin C, garlic.
Zinc is my new one.
Zinc, yeah.
Zinc is really good for me.
Preventative? Like you take it every day?
Yeah. I take it every single night. And often my family will get sick and I won't. So they don't take zinc.
That's that's a takeaway here. No, that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
I'm going to start taking
I think
zinc.
you should use that clip on the podcast because those people that have opinions on medical stuff goes viral. So I would
the
say,
algorithm.
Yeah.
What other controversial things can we talk about here?
Yeah, exactly. And don't take vaccines or anything like that.
Tell us about your new album. You were on the podcast, we just realized, about a year ago. Before we got video content.
That's right.
And you had released, or you were just releasing the first single at that point.
Yeah, and that's right. I was just releasing the first single, and I turned it into a little EP. I think I went on tour with Classified. And then I am just a few days away from releasing, my second ever full-length album.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of EPs and singles, and every time I say it's my second album, people are like, "You're lying." But it's very similar to the first in that it was done very kind of solo, whereas a lot of my EPs are collaborations with people and co-writes, and so it's my second ever. I think a lot has happened since the last time I talked to you guys.
Yeah.
Mainly, I started like taking TikTok seriously because Classified does. Came back from that tour, and he has this woman that works with him that's really smart. She does a lot of like marketing. And she was like, "You know what? I think I'm the demographic you need to reach on socials because I've literally never heard your name." She's like, "I've never heard your name. I know I've never heard it." And I went to that show where you opened for Classified, and I knew every song. And I was like, like, "You're hired."
Yeah.
She goes, "I know that there's a bunch of people like me."
And her demographic being what? Is she young? Is she?
She's a woman who's just under 30.
Yeah, okay.
But she knew all my songs from radio, but had never heard my name, and which is really helpful for me to hear. And so I kind of went on TikTok immediately and just started being like, you know you're Canadian if you know this song, or do you remember this song, or you might never have seen my face. And we just got, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views. I'm still not that up on TikTok, but I'm posting a lot. And through that, we decided to do this flashbacks tour that I'm on now. And it's some of the new ones from the EP I released and some upcoming from the album, but it's mainly broken down versions of those old songs that there's people just discovering, which is such a good, it's easy as an artist to be like, maybe everyone knows me, but like no one cares. Or the whole country knows my music, but only 3,000 people listened, But that great, I don't know, I think it's such a positive information to be like, just a reminder that no one knows who you are in the grand scheme of things, and how much, like TikTok especially, we've never put any ad money behind it because it's so organic, and it just has reached all these people in Canada to the point that, Hannah was texting me she was like, "We sold out this in one day, sold it." Like the sales just from her TikToks are correlating.
Jeez.
Wow.
So in a way that you couldn't pay enough on Instagram or Facebook to get those ads.
Yeah.
And so, and it's an interesting demographic because I feel like this ages me so bad, but like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, my mom used to jam to these songs." Like they were 10 years ago, and then there's people making fun of those people being like, "My grandmother showed me this one." And then I'm on there being like, "Guys, I'm not that old." But there is a lot of, even the last few shows, 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old girls with their moms. And so it's creating a really sweet dynamic. And so I've just been having fun on TikTok and using that in a way that I think I was super negative about or just didn't know how to use it. And God, I see why it's so powerful now, because we are, and like my agent's going like, "I don't know what you guys did this weekend, but do it again." Done. 3 more posts. Like, so it's just like.
So you're seeing tangible results,
like
with
very tangible. Yeah.
How
So
much
encouraging.
time and energy are you actually putting into it?
Almost none. And the best
business model ever.
The best thing, so because I'm a millennial, and you'll know this, it's like we tend to overthink things because we came from eras in art where we had to be we're editing and crafting, and it's also like we're in an age where we're not looking so youthful anymore, so there's a lot of like, okay, am I overthinking in every way? And this young generation, just like, they don't like that at all. To them, it's like, it's
They don't
so
use the Paris
inauthentic.
filter on everything.
It's so inauthentic, yeah. And so this woman I'm working with, who's, I don't know, I think she's 27, 28, and she'll just be like, she's like, "No, don't post that. You're trying too hard. Do 2 selfies and send them to me." I go, "Gung gung, I don't look at them." And she goes, "Great, these are the ones you do." So I go, "Oh." So I'll go to TikTok and I post the 2 selfies that I took. I try not to look too close. And I just say this. I say, "I'm playing here. Do you know this song?" And then it's incredible. It's I totally get it now, and it's such a gift to try and be less self-conscious, because I think I was really, with socials, really struggling with that aspect of it. And now I'm like, F it. It's like an F it thing. But it has made me a more comfortable person in the last few months. And I don't feel like I'm trying to look super cool. And oh my God, at the live show, I'm not cool. Sorry, I'm just this. I'm like, oh, these people know exactly what they're getting. Thank you. I feel like I'm cool. I'm glad you do, but
I feel you're very cool.
Oh, great.
But
good.
You're speaking with two even older millennials, so I don't know.
Elder millennials.
What our take really means, but it's very promising to hear that there's an avenue on social media in particular that doesn't feel gross.
Yeah.
And that it's actually having results.
Yeah, it's just, I think people just have to remember it's about the person looking at it. It's not about you. I think that's the big thing. You don't just post things that you are. It's like, hey guys, this song from your childhood, I'm going to be at this place. Or do you remember? It's, just that. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely been selling tickets on this tour. I think we've had to add second shows in some cities, chose not to on other cities, and it feels certainly different than the last tour I did.
That's
That's
amazing.
exciting. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks,
nice
TikTok.
To have that energy
I was
going
sour
into
about
it.
TikTok too.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good. I'm always learning.
This is a total sidebar, but when you said about having some of the younger youth showing up with their parents, it just made me immediately think of Swifties. And I'm wondering if your fans, can we call them Mayflowers?
Oh, okay.
MAE flowers? I think that could be a thing.
That's really cute, actually.
Yeah, like your tribe are Mayflowers, and we can.
Yeah.
I just integrated myself.
Are you a Mayflower?
We can have Mayflower merch. Yeah.
I love that. I think I think I couldn't do that. I feel like you couldn't do that either, Mike. It's like making it like in the way that you said earlier, you don't want to say subscribe to my YouTube channel.
But
someone else
do
would
it.
have to do it for you and create.
Me.
Who's going to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you can make like a Mayflower account and then every once in a while I'll repost it, maybe I could do that.
Okay. I think we should like spread this thing out there. But
I like that.
This is just, one of those things that you feel you should say out loud.
You talked about the new album being more of a solo endeavor.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you mean by that, and I want to hear a little bit about the production side of things in it.
Yeah, so this one, I think just out of necessity, out of not wanting to like spend money to like fly to Toronto, and I just was writing alone. I was also just had like a weird winter, and I think I just needed to get back in touch with that. And just financially, living in Halifax, and all my collaborators are not in Halifax. Most of them, some of them are. But yeah, I just started writing, I guess kind of like the TikTok thing. Like, I don't need it to be super polished. I just want it to be a picture of what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the production would be mine, or I would send it to John Mullane.
Yeah.
I'd hire to mix it, but then he'd also say, I don't know about this synth sound you have. It sounds like you're trying to do this. Or like, can I suggest an acoustic here? Because there's something missing. And so it really felt like I don't want to say that I produced it all, because he was really holding my hand through it. But yeah, just a very, just like a project, like a big project, instead of often I would fly down to Nashville and do one song. Or then, in between, since that first album, I had a lot of opportunities to co-write. And so I took them. But I enjoy being alone and writing much more than all the little subtle social dynamics in a writing session, like the push and pull. And I think I just needed to have nobody changing my ideas.
Yeah. And were you tracking stuff on your own as well?
Yeah. So most of it is done just in my it's about the size of your studio, except there's not really a window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the intention or the birth of the album? Was I want to create a body of work that is a little bit more private or to myself, and then you started this journey?
I don't think I've ever set out to do something that actually happened creatively.
Yeah.
I set out to make a few EPs, Tiny Strands, which I did put out. Then I was going to do flashbacks of stuff that I started when I was younger, and I was going to finish it. And then like some pop songs. I think I was gonna call the album Tiny Strands, Flashbacks, and I don't know, pop or something. And then it just didn't work out that way. I just decided it was going to be my second album. I'm calling it 2 because I'm not creative with naming things. Yeah, I think last time I was here, I was saying I bought myself off my label. And then I think since I talked to you, I let my manager go.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of let the whole team go, the business manager.
Yeah.
And just doing things a bit more in that same way. It's going to be by myself. It might not be the best version ever, but it'll be the most like authentic version.
Mm-hmm.
And I just need that right now. Like I need to feel like an artist, and that I feel like if I don't have that part, the rest sometimes isn't worth it. Because I'm not. I feel like that for me is the fun part. It's like the fun and the play of it all.
I went through a bit of that this summer. We closed the gallery, and a lot of the emotional aspect of that was realizing how much I needed to find my own emotions and my own path, my own future. And I started to be aware of how influenced or impacted I was being by things that were meant to even be helpful, like turning to self-help material, thinking this is going to be good for me.
Right.
Yet there's such a variety and difference of opinion on that. Or trying to be healthy. Again, it's like depends on who you ask. So much so that it started to feel like I was living this gray life of I don't really know what I like or what I need or what I want, and needed to cut all of that out to kind of recalibrate a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate to that feeling. It's easy and hard at the same time. It's hard in that we're used to doing it differently. It's easy in that finally you're kind of nourishing yourself. Do you feel like, and I'm curious because I want to know kind of for the sake of relatability, but do you think this is part of just being at this age or stage of our life that you kind of need to take a minute and figure out like, okay, this time has passed. I've lived this way for so long.
Yep.
Who am I now?
Probably. Yeah, maybe. Isn't there something like every 7 years you're like a completely, even like cellularly, you're like a new person?
Yeah.
Because my son's about to turn 7 and we're seeing this whole other situation come out of him. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to know, to separate an age thing versus how many years you've been doing art or how many years you've been doing the same thing over and over and you just need a change. But yeah, I think I relate to what you just said. Like, I think I had like a year or if not more of just like, what do I even like about this again? Like, is this the part I like? Why is this stressing me out? Why am I choosing this if this is stressing me out? And yeah, just going back to the drawing board. And I keep telling everyone, like, because I was on the fence about still doing music or like buying a small business because all the boomers are selling their businesses for like nothing. And I love that. Like I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I was like, wouldn't that be great to be able to run a small business and be able to write at night? And then I woke up and I was like, I'm so stupid. Like, I have a small business.
You are the small business.
You know, and a whole bunch of things happened where I just wasn't, I mean, I have to blame myself, but communication within my team was not great. And, you know, a lot of like, I'm communicating to one person, they're talking to the agents. Nothing is getting back the way I want. And I just was like, I can do this. Like, I've been self-managed before. I had a really nice parting of ways with my manager of 10 or more years. And I'm just doing it like a small business. Yeah, I'm like, I've hired someone to help me do the marketing because I now know I can't do that. And I'm just producing on my own, keeping it cheap. I'm not doing music videos. I'm doing just social media, having fun with it. And that's it. Like, I'm just running a business, and it's in Canada. So,
when you,
that's always what I've been doing, I guess. But
Yeah, sure.
It's just having a different, it aligns more with what I want because I want just stability for my family. I need to be able to make a certain amount of money because my wife doesn't work because it doesn't work with my career.
Yeah.
It's like a catch-22 thing there. And I just want to be an artist. I want to create and write and see what the next song's going to be that comes out. And yeah, I don't know. So it's just something has changed. I don't know. Maybe it's age.
Yeah.
But
when you went back to the drawing board, as you said, and looked at what it is that you love about music, or what matters to you. What was it? Because I feel like, and I don't know if it is an age thing, because I've went through that myself recently, and like, what the hell am I doing this for? And then you,
What is this?
you just think back, like, why did I start? And I start going down the memory lane, and I'm like, oh, jamming with my buddies and just screwing around, figuring out stuff. That was how it first started. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's the social aspect of it. And then the actual creation of a song. There's nothing I love more than when a song just actually comes out of nothing and becomes something, and then you can hear it back. Like, I just recorded that, even if it's just a voice memo on a phone. Like, that is awesome.
Yep.
You're allowed to say that about your own music in that state.
Yes.
Like 30 seconds after you do that, you
this
can
is the
say
best
it.
thing that's ever been written.
And then an hour later, you're not allowed to say anything. But for me, that was it. I'm like, yeah, I just love music. Like, I just love hearing sounds and how they blend together and how harmonies work. And even just yesterday, I was working on a song in here, and I was playing guitar, and I guess I'm completely in the flow state because I'm not thinking about anything but that. And I realize I'm like just like bobbing and like just complete, and I'm just the only person in here. I'm not on stage.
Hope the cameras were on.
Yeah, I'm like just completely rocking out, playing a guitar part for someone's album that I'm producing. Yeah, that's it. Well, but for you, when you went back, what was it?
I definitely relate to the part 2 of that, which is the writing. When that song first comes out and you first record it, I think, so I got this I had no idea that in Nova Scotia you could get a grant to write. There's a writing grant that exists. We're so fortunate in this province to have grants, but I'm also like a very good student. Like, I'm very, like, if someone tells me like, you need to do this to be like a good person, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing then.
Yeah.
And I got this grant to write, and I told myself, like, you're not going to like write and then do something else too. Like, this is your gift, and so you're going to gift it to yourself. Yeah. And so I started just being like, all right, I get to just play every day. I gave myself little homework, like, you know, the first few weeks I'm going to write on the piano, which I don't play. Yeah. And the second few weeks I'm going to just write on a piece of paper and just try to get out of like my usual habits. And I just started having so much fun. Like, it's so fun. Yeah, like 2 hours might go. There's been many nights where it's been like 3 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, my kids get up at like 7. This sucks. Yeah. But just that is my favorite thing. And just seeing what comes out and what I can push myself to say and articulate about something that I've never been able to articulate before, whether it's about like my relationship or my like family stuff. I don't know. It's just so, I can't describe it. When I talk about it, it sounds not that fun. I can tell that I'm like, this is a bad story, but it's so fun. It's just so fun.
I don't know if I would say a bad story, but it's I find hearing these types of examples actually quite liberating as a fellow creative, because it speaks to how different that looks and feels to everyone. That there's not sort of this sought after destination that once you arrive there, this will happen. It doesn't quite work that way with really any aspect of your work, I don't imagine.
And it's nice that the creative process can change over time too. Like, you don't have to do anything the same. Like you said, you tried stuff on piano, then just writing things out. And I used to always, 100% of my songs would be me sitting down with an acoustic guitar and coming up with something. And I have like probably 1,000 voice memos that can turn into songs, like of half ideas. Yep. But lately, I'm just sitting down. I'm like, I feel like I've done this before. Like, this feels repetitive, and I just wasn't coming up with anything that way. So I started. I didn't intentionally seek an additional way to write, but I just started finding some drum loops and playing guitar over top of that. Like, oh, this is completely different.
That's it.
Because there's that little spark there that can inspire you to create something you wouldn't have just on your own. So just the way the rhythm flows or whatever, or
totally.
you it's like a writing partner almost.
Yeah, that's it. That's like I feel like that's how I wrote Close Off, like hearing a beat that I would never have chosen myself, but I'm like hearing it, and then you have the guitar on, so you're like, all right, well, what would I do it's so necessary to have that second thing.
Yeah.
And I guess it doesn't have to be a person.
Mhm.
But yeah, just that other aspect. And it's like, okay, what would my brain do around that? But I
Yeah.
certainly would never create that in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it really important to like switch how I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Every project. I just don't get inspired unless I like am learning. I'm like, what is this sound? Like, like
Mhm.
even using like splice and stuff, like it's fun for me
Yeah.
to, because I haven't before now thought of myself as someone who could produce a whole song. But now it's like I can take a thing from splice, kind of produce around it, around my vocal and this piano, and then I can remove it. And then what's left is like what I've put in. I'm like, oh, I've produced a song, right?
Mm.
And it's like, it's just making it more, the final product is actually what I want and not what I'm able to communicate to someone and they're able to understand from me. It's like, oh, this is actually what I chose to do. And it's really fun to have that now for the first time.
Mm.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that some of your listeners might be surprised to hear that 2 is only your
Yeah.
second album.
Yeah.
Full-length album.
Full-length
Yeah.
album.
Full
Yes.
length album.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this idea of being prolific and whether or not that is important to you as an artist or you see that as important in other artists. This is a conversation Mike and I have been having
right.
recently, and like, are we impressed by a lot of work? Not always. Yeah. How do you feel about that level of output?
I feel impressed by a lot of output.
Yeah. So does Mike.
Yeah. And I feel I really want to have a lot at the end of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, could I get to 10 albums?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with, like, I just went to that, what's that museum in Cape Breton? Alexander
Alexander
I
Graham
was
Bell.
going to say that as a joke, but yes.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Like his house?
The amount of things that he's done. No, was it that guy, the guy that
Alexander and
Invented the
Mabel,
phone.
is it? Yeah.
Telephone.
telephone, a whole new language that's like before Braille that didn't catch on. Flight, he was involved in the first flights.
Yeah.
He was involved in the first way to play music. He was involved in so many things, and a lot of them didn't catch on to be the big
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
The phone was like his thing,
Yeah.
but he just kept the amount of things he did to me is really impressive, and that there's
Yeah.
proof of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why. I could probably dig into that, and I'm not sure why I'm putting weight on that, but I do feel like if someone had one song and it was awesome, I'd be much prouder of having like 100 songs and one medium song.
Okay.
What about 100 shitty songs? versus one
That's
awesome?
different. I don't know. You're always going to find people that do a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
doesn't quite catch on.
Mhm.
But
We kind of
usually
related this.
other people don't hear those things. It's
Right.
probably in their basement. Like,
Yeah.
I've recorded 1,400 tapes. And you're like,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah,
But-
thankfully, there's not 100 shitty songs in your catalogs, but we kind of attributed this
Probably
idea
in
of it.
my laptop, though.
Right, right.
Hey, you need
Hidden
those
in
to
the
get
dark.
to the good ones.
Yeah, in a
So,
safe somewhere.
They're
but-
necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, we I guess we were talking about this idea of, are we placing value in ourselves as human beings by the level of effort and output that we're contributing? Because we were
Mhm.
kind of raised in a generation that your sense of worth often was connected to your work or how hard you work.
True.
And has that somehow imposed on our creativity, in that it's really important to keep, because we, like we wrote a book and we have a podcast and Mike's a musician, I have a gallery, and like there's so much going on, you don't always have
Yeah.
time to just savor and even promote this thing, like even from a business
Yeah.
lens. And we're like, are we doing this right? Yet there's something impressive about people that are able to continue that output.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm curious, of course, to hear this from everyone in like, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it's impressive that when people have the confidence or like the work ethic to get their own idea out. It's like, and it's also like maybe sad when they don't.
Mm-hmm.
We all know people that have a bunch of ideas but don't do it.
Yep.
It's so rare, like especially you with the podcast, like how many people can do a thing consistently for that long is very rare too.
Mhm.
So maybe that's just why as humans we put it on a pedestal,
Yeah.
because most people can't do that,
Yeah, maybe.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We're good at pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
No,
in some regards.
It doesn't always. Yeah, we talked about how, I don't know, you don't have a lot of time to put the energy into promoting something when you're constantly going on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And even like, I released one song in a full year, and that could be amazing. Or I put out an album every year, and that's 12 songs or whatever it is. But you might not have the energy or the time or the people to get behind it and help push that out to the world. So maybe it makes more sense to not put out as much. So
right, until you have the time to promote it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's just like, I often have these grand ideas. Like, I'm doing this giant album right now. I'm like, do people care about that? Like, does the average person, I think maybe creative people care about prolificness because they understand the work and the time that goes into it. But does the average person care if you put out 3 albums last year or 3 songs, you know?
Right. But I think if you're compelled to make something like that, then that's...
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's where I land too.
No, but I don't think the average person, like the average person in the world, is probably not gonna like care about that project. But you'll probably have more really dedicated fans because of it.
Yeah.
You know, and something to look back on that'll always be there. I think that's really cool. And I don't think everything has to be like, there's some songs I'm like, okay, this sounds like a radio single, so I'm going to make it, you know, not too long and blah, blah, blah. But there's other songs that I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking about radio. This is for like, if people are really interested and they want to see what my brain might choose on this, then that's for them. It's not going to make me a bunch of money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite songs have like no streams that I've written, you know, like they're not, but it doesn't mean they're less just because the average person doesn't know them.
Is radio something you still go after?
I just told my wife, she's sick of me telling, all my thoughts are going to her this week. It's so, I'll give you an example. So I don't have a team. I've never gone to radio since I was on a label because they do all that. So I'm learning how this happens now again. So I hired an independent radio promoter and I said, can you just go to CBC and alternative? And he's like, this sounds like pop. And I was like, I don't think it is. I haven't listened to pop radio in years, but I don't think this is pop radio. Basically, he said, I'll bet you that this works at pop radio. And so he's got it on to pop radio. Now, this is such, what's it called? Inside hockey. But in case there's musicians listening, my tickets for the Toronto show, Toronto's a hard market for everyone. There's a lot going on there. And so a lot of my shows are adding a second show, low tickets. Toronto was hovering at this number that we couldn't really budge even on TikTok. And then all of a sudden he gets me added to this station in Toronto that's massive. And I was like, my first thought was, okay, how much to advertise there? That's going to be way better than advertising on Instagram for me. And I went back and it was like, because my song's on radio, for me to get them to plug my show a few times, peanuts. Where if my song was not on radio, I don't know, $9,000, $10,000 for a spot in Toronto. So I'm like, great, I'm getting paid the royalties. I'm getting $9,000 worth of advertising for this show. And it also includes Hamilton, London, and Guelph, I think, their advertisements. And then I'm getting, you know, the performance royalties. It's just massive what you can do with radio still. So I'm still confused when people say radio doesn't matter. Like, you shouldn't shoot for the moon if your music isn't radio-y, but I don't understand why you wouldn't want that, because to me, it's going to sell out markets that I couldn't sell out without it. Not only saving me money, making me money.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, maybe radio won't matter one day, but to me, I don't see that. So I can't listen to that. I'm like, for my small business, it's working great. Yeah, I don't know.
Seeing your music more of a small business, I'll say, than maybe you did before. Are you thinking about your audience in a different way, or are you able to kind of maintain this sense of, I'm making this for myself because this is what matters?
I'm making it for myself and people like me, I think. Like, I want to be a little more honest than I would be in real life, just to help someone if they're going through that, to like articulate it. And I want to be a little more, confident and mix genres a bit more than, I don't know. I feel like it gives people confidence. There's artists that I listen to that I'm like, oh, I feel cool. I feel represented. I feel cool. Yeah, I don't know. So it's for me, but it's not like, my thoughts are always with like this, like, there's a few people in every city that I'm like, oh, they're going to love this. Like right away.
Yeah. That's a fun way to go about it. Like you're given the advice to know your target audience at least, but to have like, oh, Becky's gonna love this song. That's kind of
that's all you need to know, because then you just find the other Beckys.
Exactly.
I certainly don't let if ever I have a thought about like a cool person or someone that doesn't like my music, someone that might be there, a radio promoter that never promoted me, I will immediately go, like stop the thought. Because I don't want to think, if I make something for them, no one's gonna like it. They're not going to like it. And the Beckys aren't going to like it.
Yeah.
I like that you said Becky. I just do it for the group. But like my manager, my ex-manager, Terry, used to always say, like, if you make something that you love, if you can find just a few people, like it's always possible to find, what number did he have? If one person loves it, you can definitely find 70,000 people that like it. And that is a career. You know,
I've never heard that.
Maybe 70,000 isn't the number, but I think it is.
Yeah, you could say any number. It was one of it's impressive.
First conversations we had, because some of them will passively come to a few shows. Some of them will spend hundreds on you every month. Maybe they'll fly to shows, buy every merch drop, and then everything in between. And that is a career. Like, easy peasy.
What is it, having having 1,000 super fans is basically enough to make your career.
Yeah.
Like you could have 70,000 passive listeners.
Exactly.
And
and 1,000 of them are super fans.
Yeah. And you can have a great career out of that, which is amazing. That's you think you need to reach millions to be successful, but when you can reach that many people and you truly reach them, they'll buy everything you ever put out and support you in every step of the way.
Yeah, and you just need, my dad always says buckets. He's always like, just buckets. Oh, that's a good bucket, Ree. Like everything is about like, what can you count on every year? Those are your buckets. You know? And it's like, oh, geez, you play this festival every year? I'm like, yeah, we have a great relationship, so I go every year. Great bucket. I'm like, okay. And then, like I do this, I could do a little acoustic tour. That's a great bucket. Oh, I do this, Christmas show. That's a great bucket. And it's like, the things that okay, do I bring in this much, and then everything on top of that is like I can invest in other things. But yeah, just thinking it like that makes things a lot easier, right? Instead of, if you have no goal and you're just trying everything, you're going to exhaust yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be happy with yourself along the way, because like you just want everything.
Yeah. And that helps you stay focused, I imagine, even focusing on TikTok instead of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else is even out there. Like that alone can kind of help streamline your energy. So yeah.
That's it too. Like if you don't have a massive team and you're doing it yourself, we were talking about this earlier, if TikTok's going really well and YouTube isn't, yes, it's smart. If you should find a way to bring someone into the team that can do TikTok, that can pay for themselves. Maybe you're paying them $400 a month. They're bringing in $700 a month. That's all you need to get it going.
Yeah.
But if you're not at that point where you can't pay someone a few $100 to do it, don't do it. Put all your time on the thing that's making you money and you're good at, until you can hire someone else. Because I think if you can't spread yourself too thin, like that's just for me. Like I can't do everything, or else I'm not going to do the things I'm good at well. I'm not going to have time to write, and that's really. So my wife always says, she's like, the only thing that makes you money is writing. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop coming up with a business to clean people's houses. I'm like, oh my God, everyone's house is dirty this time of year. I got an idea. She's like, stop.
These are one of the boomer
you're not
businesses
good at
you're
this.
buying.
Yeah. She's like, you've never made money doing these businesses. You make money writing songs.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, you're right. I'll stop that.
She sounds like a good anchor for you.
Oh, she's great. Yeah. I mean, I don't always want to hear it, but.
What goals do you have for two? What are you hoping it brings into your life?
I don't know. My goals aren't that big. I've been told that by my therapist.
That's okay.
Yeah. I just really want to have a great life. Like I want to have a fun life. I look to Classified for someone who's done things I would like to do. Own a few more real estate. Not worry about my future. Set my kids up well. And release like a bunch of albums. And I'd love to think, I'm starting to think I could be this way, but I'd love to be making music like in my 50s and be comfortable with myself, like not trying to be 40 or like, you know, like, and making it for like this age group as we age. Like I hope that I can be, I feel like I'm getting more confident. So maybe that will be possible, but I've been doing these acoustic shows where it's just, we're in theaters and we're sitting down and the audience is sitting down and we're showing off our musicianship instead of like the pop stuff. And we're singing 3-part harmonies. And then I get to tell stories and then I get to hear audience stories. And it's so fun. Like I want that to last forever. Please, God. It's so fun.
I was going to ask you what your idea of making it is, but it sounds like you've kind of described that just now.
Yeah, I'm just so thankful. It's so, just if I could keep this career going and grow it a bit more, like, I don't know. It's so funny too, because when you're young, you want, I want the number one, I want the whatever. I do have one of those goals. Like, I'd love to have a song that does well in another country, so I have a plaque.
Yeah.
But I don't really care. Like, I'd love to have a plaque from Germany or from another country.
Yeah.
Everything's Canada right now. But yeah, I mean, I think just if you can make art and not worry about money, that there's nothing better, right? It's the worrying about money that makes it a hard life.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Otherwise, it's a better life than anyone I see having a life.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so relatable.
I don't see anyone else having a better life than me that's not an artist that's happy, you know? And there's lots of people that do financially better than me that aren't having a better life because they're not happy with it or content with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think as long as like your family's healthy and you have money and you're not worried, like, and I'm a worrier about money, like, and it's traumatic for me. Like money is traumatic. So I think, yeah, when I have these years where things are going well and I'm just like, this is what I want. Like,
I know you did a conversation with Side Door with Laura Simpson recently.
Gosh, she's like I cried on there too. My God, she's like a therapist.
She's amazing. Yeah, in all the ways. But I know you guys talked about, like, one of the clips she shared was about money and having younger people have this conversation with you. Is that something that happens often?
All the time.
How does that feel to be looked at as someone that they want your advice, and especially with that conversation?
Yeah, I love it. I've really valued advice, like, you know, Classified, Rose Cousins, Amelia Curran, Jen Grant. I'm always, Tegan and Sarah, asking questions and being like, you know, whether it's like, how do you get a backdrop on tour? Like, who are you hiring to do this? Or like, how does it make sense to travel? Do you have to change bands when you go to this country with the weird visas? Or just like questions about financially how it works. Can you buy a house in your business? Do I have to buy it? Do I have to transfer that money into my personal and pay a bunch of like, how are you guys doing this? So I just appreciate it. But I mean, sometimes I think I give advice that people don't ask for too. Like, I'm kind of that person. I'll see something happening. I'm like, dude, don't do that. But yeah, some people, I have a lot of people just asking me questions, and I hate seeing people spend money. My dad was always really good to sit down and be like, it's not, you're playing the lottery. Like, we're not gambling here. You're not going to spend 10 grand on your video and hope that it comes back. How's it coming back? If you win the lottery? And I still, like...
Such a dad thing.
Yeah, I still do it. It used to piss me off, and now it's in my head, and it's, yeah, I don't spend the money if I don't have it. I've never been someone who's like... I've had young people call me up and be like, yeah, so I put my album on credit cards, and I'm like, okay, step one, get a job immediately.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. But yeah, and I'm sure there's things about my show that could be, like, some people invest a lot in their shows, and maybe it, you know, I could be better at some things, but I think if I'm talking to just artists right now and forgetting about anyone else that's listening, you have to make it make sense. It's not that magical. It's still a business. Like, don't get fooled by everything else. Like, it is a business. So if you don't have the money to do something, you're not doing it, you know?
I think this is the hard thing for creative people, though, is because we get this message of, if you have enough passion and if you have enough courage and you have enough grit, then, you know, everything is going to work out. And there comes sometimes those decisions of, well, am I not passionate enough if I don't put this album on a credit card?
Yeah.
Because that means that I don't believe in myself or I don't care or whatever. Like, I have found that a dilemma at times.
I know. It's a fine line. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough too, because you could say, I mean, I'm fans of this podcast and I see you guys doing better and better. Some people would put out a podcast as much, like some people might record an episode every week and no one would want to listen to that podcast. Not everyone has the thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard where there's like all these kids might hear like, okay, just, work hard and put all your money on the album and it's going to go on the radio. But it's like, maybe not. So it's hard to tell. Yeah, that's why I'm on the other end of it, because I'm like, it's so lucky things will always happen, but you can't be relying on the lucky things. That has to be the fun money. Like, oh my God, I got 20 grand from this placement. You don't want to be saying like, thank God, because my credit card company, I owe them 20 grand.
Yeah.
Has to be like, great. Now I can hire the YouTube guy for the next year. It has to be fun and building. It can't be panicky, and no one can create art from a panicky place. But yeah, I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I feel like
maybe
most
I shouldn't give
artists
advice.
are just panic mode all the time.
Oh yeah, me too. Everything's panic mode, but it's good to, especially when you get panicky about money and you can't afford things, you tend to go, oh, it's because I'm not a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just like no one told you how to do it, and so just reaching out to someone else and being
it's been
like,
a hard year for the arts. Am I wrong?
It's a hard year for everything.
For everything.
For everything.
Like, we are more, arguably, I'm not even saying I believe this, but the argument might be stated that we are a luxury item. Like, I don't necessarily, because I know how frequently we consume art and it contributes to well-being and whatever. But I recognize that in others because we're having the same experience. Like, I don't have as much disposable income to buy merch or whatever the example is. And so I see that in others, but it's also just heartbreaking to be in the position of the producer of the art too and being impacted. So,
There's different ways to look at it too. And like, so yes, most people have less disposable income, but there's still a lot of people with disposable income. Not the artists, not us. But there might be people that aren't coming to my tours. I'll just use myself as an example because they don't have money. And there's some people that are just in jobs that have a lot of money, and those people will always be there. There's also, in some ways it is, you're not, if you only have $500, you're not going to spend it on a Taylor Swift ticket. But in terms of like art, it is, when times are hard, people actually need art more. And they need to feel connected. So it depends on, I think if you're selling $1,000 tickets, it might be hard. But if you're giving everyone a great escape from their life and it's a $40 ticket, in this time, it might not be impossible. Like, I think it's important to not to psych ourselves out. Because it does get hard for artists first, but there's always there's always those high ticket people, So you could say, like, if you can afford it, pay $100. If you can't, pay $15, and you might be surprised.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these sliding scale approaches to ticketing recently. That
in theater as well.
And people want to help. Don't you want to help? Like, I always, when I have a bit of extra money, I'm like, God, my first thought is always like, is this person just not releasing an album because they're missing $2,000? Like, could I help? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people have that, especially people that hang around artists a lot. Like, there's a lot of like, if there's just an option to help and it's easy for them and it's not embarrassing, But yeah, it's difficult, but also with more AI, like, I don't know, there's something with the live experience with shows that I feel really exciting right now. I don't know. My brain also goes crazy positive when I feel scared to maybe fix that. So I tend to do this thing where I'm like, trying to look at the bright side. But sometimes it's easy for artists and entrepreneurs to be like, oh God, but just like the radio thing. Yeah, radio's disappearing. Yeah, but it's actually like selling my shows out right now.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you have to look at what reality is right now and not what might happen in 8 months or 12 months.
And the economy is really, like, if you look back on history, it's not like this is the first time that we've endured a challenging economic time in the world.
People got really good at making stuff, like after the first war. I've been hearing, like, I think women banded together and were like, no one's buying anything. We're making our blankets. We're
Yeah.
making, and it was a really, I forget, you might be more of a historian than me, but it was a real like FU to like Britain or something. It was kind of like, we're not giving you guys money anymore. We're doing it ourselves. And I think interesting things come out of those times. Not to say there's not a lot of, you know, and I think grants will probably get lower and, you know, gas will be more expensive, sure. But I think that's when it's important to say, okay, what's making me money and what's not. Maybe you're not doing tours in Germany this year. Maybe you're doing great. Maybe you're making those phone calls and getting all those local festivals. And I don't know.
I think there's more beautiful art in general being made now than ever. Like there's more people have access to make music. There's people who maybe 20 years ago would have been a brilliant musician, but just couldn't afford it. Now they can get a laptop, a mic for $200 and they can make a song that blows you away. Like there's so many options for people to put their stuff out there. And I think there's a lot of shitty stuff out there, but I think when you dig through it all, there's so much beautiful stuff out there. And I am a little scared of where AI is going to take things. Yeah. And I think for a while we'll be able to leverage it as a tool. Like, you know, I was talking about writing to drum loops. Like maybe I can use that like as a collaborator in some capacity. Right. But in a couple of years, I don't know. Like it's already getting to a point where it can make some pretty good sounding songs, and the average person who's not an artist, like they just want to hear something good. Like they don't care who made it. So that's a little scary. Live music, like you said, will always be at the forefront of it. Like that, I don't think that can ever fade away because people want that experience, and AI cannot give that to an audience.
It's going to get weird. Yeah, you're right. There's going to be, even now, you know, with like Canva and Photoshop has AI in it, and like things are getting easier, but it's already taking away from the designers. Yeah. But the musicians are like, oh, sweet, everything's easy and cheap now. And then there's going to get a point where like, oh, we're not needed for this, or
like scoring. I'm assuming is going to be done very soon.
That's exactly what I think. Like, those are the first musicians to like, because you know, you watch a reality show and it's like sometimes someone's like grabbing their coat and the background song is like, get my coat, coat. And I'm like, you do not need someone doing that for 12 hours in their studio. AI can take that.
And it's like right now I'm at the point where I always envisioned like I would start doing that when I got all the gear I want, when I have all the knowledge I want, the skill set I want. Like I can score a feature film right now or whatever. And I'm like, AI is going to do that instead now. Yeah. But so there are aspects that will probably fall off. Some will rise. Yeah. And I think creative people are the most adaptable people in the world. So we'll figure out a way to keep
figure something out.
It is a dilemma, like using the graphic design. I'm not proud of this, but I'll be honest about it. This graphic design example, I've worked with some brilliant graphic designers in the past. It's not cheap and it's very timely. Like it takes weeks and weeks and weeks and several conversations back and forth and meetings and approval and tweak this. And I have also used Canva and made a graphic for the purpose that it needed to be in a couple of hours on my own. Yeah. So I understand the allure. Again, especially as a creative person, I'm not proud to promote that. But I understand why, especially as somebody like maybe you are struggling with finances, do you have $3,000 for a logo or, you know, zero? And you can, it's not going to be as good and it's not going to have that personal touch and you're probably not going to feel as good about it. Like all of that is true.
But you'll get there
But
eventually.
you have something.
If you think of like a sandwich shop that just opens, they could spend all the money on their sign and their logo. Yeah. But maybe they just have to, for the first 6 months, make a really good sandwich.
Exactly.
And advertise one person by one person. And then finally they have $500 in their account and they go, I'm going to get a sign. Yeah. And then finally they have 5,000. They go, I'm going to get a logo. That's just what it is. If you spend it all, there'll be no sandwich and the business is going to plummet.
That's right.
So you need to have the sandwich, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of what we did. Like we made our first podcast logo, and then when we went through the rebrand, we hired a graphic designer, and you can clearly see.
Oh my God, my
this
EP
one is
versus
way
my album.
better. That somebody that we paid, like yes, you absolutely did a better job. But at the time that we needed the first one, and we're brand new, and we don't really know what we're doing. We were the sandwich shop. Yeah,
I did it this time with the EP. I did all my own photography. I took screenshots from videos.
Mm-hmm.
That was just my post. Like everything was just me. And then I hired this incredible designer for the album. Like, well, fuck, that's night and day. But good, it's the album. It should be night and day.
Yeah,
yeah. It's not. You can't take away. And some of those designers might be using AI now and getting even better than what we could do.
That's true.
With, so
I hadn't thought about that.
and the designer I work with does use AI. He's one of the best. Yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely going to get weird.
There's something about working with a real person in that collaborative sense where when that product comes out, you have another person behind it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you do everything yourself with AI and that, it's just you against the world, but you hire someone to mix your song, someone to master it.
Yep.
You get someone to do the artwork. You have all these people behind it.
Yep.
That's a little army who's behind it in a way. And you don't have that when you work with technology in that sense.
Yeah, and you sort of need that. You want your ideas with the context of other things. Yeah, like you said, like just playing the acoustic guitar and trying to write a song.
Yeah.
Like, I've done this. Yeah, you need the other things to sort of bounce off of and pick up the slack in some areas.
I want to know about the Halifax Tides and how you got your super cool suite with your name on it.
So fun. I like sports. I like women's sports. I like women's basketball. So I think I was posting a lot about that. The Halifax Tides team invited me to go see a game. It was pouring rain. I got to drink a beer. My kids were running around. The game was awesome. And I just went up to them and I was like, I'm in. And they were like, we know you're in. We are at the game. I was like, no, guys, I'm in. Like, I am here for this. Let's do something. And so now I have a suite with them. I go to every home game. I invite people. I invite you guys. You guys are busy. You guys have your own suite or something.
Wow.
You guys are very important people.
We're so lazy. Like, we were next door to your suite on one of the games. We're like, yeah, we'll catch you later. It's like,
no, I get it though.
You're
those games are
door
quick
away,
too.
but
you feel quick because like you're socializing. Like you can order beer and food.
Yes,
they're so fun.
They're so fun.
Everyone's
so
hooked that I bring to those games. Like I bring people and they're like, how do I get season tickets?
Yes.
It's epic. So yeah, it's so fun. I'm like sad the season is ended, but it's going to be great next season.
So for anybody listening, the Halifax Tides is the new women's soccer league team in a Canadian league. I think there's 6 teams, are there, in the national league?
6 teams so far,
But they they show up with so much passion and talent.
Oh my God.
They are so fun. I
It's
had
a close
more
league
fun
too,
at this
yeah.
game than I like sports too. Like we've attended a lot of sporting events and always enjoy it. Like the environment. This is like good vibes. I cried when I saw all female refs even. Like it just felt so representative. I was so proud to be there and proud of them and proud to be part of it, and felt so spoiled that we were even offered seats to go, and like all of it is really I want to give them a plug as part of why I'm even raising this, because it's they're doing a good thing. My
favorite thing about it is that the fans are incredibly passionate without being rowdy, without being like, you go to like a Mooseheads game or something, and I don't know, there's always a chance there's going to be a fight in the crowd. Someone spills a beer on someone and they're back and forth. And at this game, it's mainly families and just people like soccer, and they're insanely passionate, the same as if you go to a Mooseheads game, but there's no chance there that there's going to be a fight in the crowd.
Very small chance there's going to be a fight.
It's just
a lot of dads with their daughters.
Well, just seeing all the young girls was super cool. Like, oh, this is awesome. They get to see some people they can aspire to be or whatever. It was just a really nice thing.
Oh yeah, a few times I brought my like high school girlfriends. Yeah. And they come with their daughters that are like 12, 10, 9. Yeah. So it's just like a group of women and young girls just screaming like, go Tides! It's like, oh, it's great.
Yeah. So good.
So good.
So we're releasing this episode just before the release of your album.
Yep.
Is there anything that we can talk about, like where can people find your music? What does your upcoming tour look like? Let's do a bit of focus on the actual promo.
So you say where they can find my music. So the music is on all the things, all the gross things. My music is on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. I have vinyls and I have CDs.
Cool. Okay.
The tour, I'm going on a tour through Nova Scotia and Ontario, but the Nova Scotia dates are over or sold out by the time you hear this. So there's some Ontario dates left of an acoustic tour. And in February and March, I'm doing the official album tour. And that'll be Western Canada first. Halifax was just announced March 14th. Get your tickets for Halifax.
Yeah, that's
soon as you
Where's it at?
fast.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah,
Nice.
sweet.
And I'm doing a little something for everyone where it's mostly standing, but there's going to be a seated area as well. People are getting old. We want to sit sometimes. That's an all ages show for the first time that I'm doing in Halifax. And that's it. Yeah, I'm super proud of this album. I think it's my best work. And tickets are on sale now for the tour.
Very good. Well,
RiaMae.com.
RiaMae.com.
Mayflowers.
Yeah.
Unite flowers.
Kristen, you have to go on a
No,
tear.
this is like a
creating
quest
this.
for me
Yeah.
now. Like I will
like it.
consult with you, but I feel quite confident about
I like
this
it.
being
I
a
like this a
thing.
lot.
Yeah, yeah. I like you a lot.
Back at you.
I feel like you really are somebody who I know that you are given maybe direction, or we're all given advice as businesses to be authentic. It's easier or it's harder to do that than one might think. I feel like that comes kind of natural to you. I just appreciate that you own who you are and you're honest with who you are. That shows in your art as well. And we're glad that you came back on the show.
Thanks so much. And I just listened to the last podcast we did, and your intro was so kind and generous, as it is for everybody, but I had never heard my intro.
Cute.
And so I just want to thank you guys again. Like, it's not a mystery to me why you guys are doing better and better and better. And I know this podcast will continue to do so. And I'm glad to be back twice now. It means a lot.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you.
Well, we're really proud of you. Excited to see what happens with the new album, the tour, and just you being an awesome human out in the world. And
Thanks.
we will definitely be seeing you at Tides games next year.
We'll be hanging at a Tides game.
Yeah. Hello. Okay, everyone.
Cool.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.
Much love.
Make It with Mike and Kristen is recorded and produced by Michael S. Ryan at Hot Jupiter Sounds.
Intro and outro music by me as well.
Cover art by Emily Rankin at Take Note Graphic Design, and photography by Candace Moore.
If you cool cats want to help us out, the best way to spread the word is by telling a friend about us. Tell your mom, tell all your buds. Word of mouth is still the best way to reach people. It's free for you and helps us immensely. And if you're into it, you can like and subscribe and all that stuff too.
Another way to support us is through our Patreon. We have a number of super fun tiers and perks like bonus content, handwritten postcards, creative coaching, and so much more. Find us at patreon.com/Mike and Kristen.
For the makers, the dreamers, and the figuring it outers, have fun trying to make it out there, friends.